foreign dollars configure the road I travel. Don't gravel, that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos. Knocking doors down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made. Walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser. I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let's hear we eating, talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad. Pull a light.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
Pulls it in at the 13.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is, but to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
Check 26, check 26, check 3, check 3.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They'll run with Sanders. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And again, it's Chubb.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he stopped immediately there. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
The Cardinals hit 4-7 now on the year, and they coming on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. Zach Ertz has it complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they're able to add on to their advantage. It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. That right there makes up for that missed extra point they had after the first score.
Yeah, they went ahead and got back to level by going for 2 and having the normal amount of points, so that works out pretty well for them. And if you're the kicker, don't worry about it too much. Now they've got back to where they want to be, they'll try it out there for the next one.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Watson. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Chubb is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And they'll run again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Okay, CD, 2nd quarter, look at their deficit and where they're at on the field. They're going for this, right?
I think that they are, because down at this point, they've just made that big move. Ride the momentum wave while you can. I know people think, hey, you've got to get some points here. Hey, you're riding it big time. Go get it done.
They come up in a 2 tight end look here. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. To throw is Murray. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Man open left side is Brown.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
It's a second down run with Sanders. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
It looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Murray now. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Couple of Oklahoma teammates there. Murray to Brown for a Cardinal first.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day.
On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And they'll get this down to the 10. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Murray now to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Brownsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 31, Watson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Watson now to throw.
Throw. Now the ball comes loose, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get
touchdown. Marquise Brown with their 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals go up by 2 touchdowns. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the kick is no good, but there are flags behind the line. He's going to get bailed out. I think this is going to be a roughing call. And they'll accept that penalty. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Cliff Kingsbury going to decide here to leave the offense out and go for 2. They'll try the sneak, and he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches, and the 2-point attempt is turned aside. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Browns drive about to get started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. And that'll be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Here's Moore on the return. A little juke. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now it's Murray. Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got the connection to Moore. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Murray to Moore, 1st down, Arizona. They'll set up a throw. The Sanders has got it complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Pinheiro is good. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Right back to Connor here on first. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They'll run with Sanders. And he'll go down at the 28. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
first and 10 is Connor. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. To throw, it's Murray. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the Browns will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
To about the 48-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cardinals are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, the field goal is probably not going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Going out wide, finds Chubb. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback. And he put it right where it needed to be.
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Chubb again.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Browns are able to cut into that deficit. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
Here's Chubb to try to run it in.
But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Now, all of a sudden, we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the result. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Throwing now is Murray. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. And now Murray's going to set up the throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. Here's Murray. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jordan Elliott. Never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long.
Right there. 54.
They'll drop to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. He's got it at the 15. A huge play there for Arizona. And even 40 yards. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Murray going to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Eli Apple. And the Browns are right back in this football game. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cards are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. They'll get this to about the 38. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 75 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Murray a give. This is Connor.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Now Murray.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I think they're going to win.
Yeah, but still, don't change the channel just yet.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Watson's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock.
Watson to throw.
He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles. And that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Cardinals are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
And they will take a knee here.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Cardinals, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town.
Meanwhile, for Cleveland, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.